Wait a minute. Don't click off. Give me a second. This is Craig with Let's Talk Sports, and this is a video I wanted to touch on for a while. It's Dame Lillard and this whole trade or trade me not side he has going on with Portland. But I'm gonna get a different perspective on it. You ever met that dude who's real and who's real until it's time to be real? Who's 10 toes down until it's time to put on them boots? Who's all with it until it's time to be with it? We all know people like that. And dudes that holler they so real this and they so real that, what they would do in this situation, that situation, until that situation pops up. And they shook. They tuck tail and run, you know? For a while, Dame has been that dude. And he's done so well at doing it, he's got people to buy into it. You know, that 10 toes down, I'm gonna stay with the grind, I'm gonna do it the old way, I'm gonna stay with my team type of talk, you know? And people have championed him as, oh, he's so old school. And I've heard plenty of channels talking about it, plenty of YouTube channels. Plenty. The YouTube channel is way bigger than this. Like, way bigger than mine. Hope to get as big as this one day. But I always knew what he was talking was full of caca. It was just all talk. But like I said, it was all real until it's time to be real. Until he realized he just might end his NBA career with all the playoff failures and nothing to show for it. And he started the neck on that shirt got a little bit tight. You know, he was you know, it's kind of crazy up here in Portland. I'm not going anywhere until he realized that, dang, I might be actually going down with the ship. Aldridge gone. What's my man name? That's in New Orleans now. CJ McCollum. He gone. You still got Yusef Nurkic, but he stay hurt. But back to what I was saying. He could get by with being the bootleg Steph Curry for the last couple of years. He's enjoyed that comparison, you know. Oh, he'd be just as good as Steph Curry if he had the team that Steph had, if he had the opportunities that Steph had, but every time he's played Steph, he's lost. And people always go to the, well, he had Kevin Durant. Majority of the time he played Kevin Durant in the playoffs, I think it was like all but 2 games. It's been Clay Dame, Dame CJ. He's lost every single one of those games. I think even Clay and Drake beat Portland in the 16th. I think they beat him like 2 games, something crazy like that. Maybe 1 game, but he's enjoyed that comparison. And you've seen him in the year Klay Thompson and Durant, where Durant went to Brooklyn and Klay Thompson was hurt that 2020, 2021 year, when him and CJ was talking out the side of their neck real crazy the game before. Steph gave him 62, like, oh yeah, Steph, see how it is now when you ain't got other people on the floor with you. It's harder to just take them deep threes when you can't just go sit out there and shoot and you need them points. And Steph lit him up for 62 the next game. Then this year, he got to score all of those points. Almost won a scoring title, as a matter of fact. I think he averaged like 32 and a half points or something crazy like that. Pretty decent efficiency. But he was losing at the same time. The same thing that players before him got criticized for. The thing he is yet to get criticized for, now he's getting criticized for. And not to the degree that those players are getting criticized for, because he's not as great in his shows. That's been the thing that nobody pays attention to. He doesn't get the criticism because everybody knows that deep down inside that Dame's not as great as those other players. But at the end of the season, well, before the end of the season, he quit. He shut it down. He said, "You know what? If we ain't making the playoffs, ain't really no point in me playing." And they just shut him down. So this off season, he started making those demands behind closed doors, throwing rocks and hide your hands, not really putting his name on the stuff that's going to the media. And he demanded a trade away from Portland. After all that talk about I'm sinking with the ship, all these dudes are just ring chasing, they're ruining how the NBA was. It's not like it was before. People gonna look back at my career, and they're gonna say just because I didn't win a championship, I wasn't great. All that talking he was doing. Now he just like every other player, no better than KD, no better than Bron. And he dug himself so deep of a hole. It's like, bro, you took all that money the year before, that big contract, that whatever team you go to, they're gonna have to give up a chunk of that debt just to get you. Like if you go to Miami, who are they gonna trade to get you? They Gabe Vincent left, so they can't really put Gabe Vincent in the package. What are they gonna give up for you? A couple of picks and Duncan Robinson and what's my man name? Tyler Hero. Like that's nothing in exchange for an all-star level player. Like he didn't realize that when he took that huge contract. So now he handcuffed Portland, and now he just might actually have to stay in Portland and play with Scoop Henderson. Like now he's in between a rock and a hard place. So now you made yourself look foolish because you was talking all that crazy stuff in the past, and you ended up asking for a trade. And now you can't get traded. And the irony, you want to get traded to a team that just came off the finals trip. So yeah, that's been my take on Dame Lillard and this whole trade me or trade me not saga that he has going on. And there's no real answer in sight for Dame. Because if you go to Miami, like, what are you is well, if you go to Miami, the pressure's gonna be on you to perform and perform at a high level because he's had what a handful of good playoff games, not series, games. Because Dame he's been embarrassed in the playoffs a couple times, and people don't speak about that. 2019, he got embarrassed by the Golden State Warriors. No, I won't say Golden State. Well, he got embarrassed by Steph. That was a mano a mano matchup. No KD. Golden State didn't really have a bench like that. I think they played like 8 players that series. Iguodala was banged up. Only thing they had was a healthy Clay, Trey, and Steph. And he had his crew with him, and he got swept. I think Steph put up a record like the record for the most points in the sweep. That was crazy. And the year before, he got embarrassed by New Orleans in 2018. Nobody talks about that. It's like all his playoff failures have been swept under the rug because he's had this whole 10 toes down thing with Portland. And really, the media's kind of been light on him because they really could have went hard on him and they did this summer, but they deep down inside they always knew what Dame was. He was like a bootleg Steph Curry, and he got a lot of praise and a lot of over or undue credit for the stuff that he was doing, putting up all those points and losing on a losing team.